I'm Kokoy.
Together we are.
TITOS with ukuleles.
What do we have today, Kokoy?
Well, today we have a very interesting ukulele. As you can see, it doesn't look like a normal ukulele because instead of having a sound hole, you actually have a speaker in there.
Yeah, okay. Now, okay, I see Pignose.
Yes, Pignose. Don't you recognize the brand?
Yeah, and then there's a little knob here. Chrome knob that looks like...
A Pignose.
Yeah.
Okay, now I think you're now familiar with the Pignose brand.
Mm-hmm.
It is a famous brand that was developed sometime in the 70s, I believe, coming from America. It was a very cranky amplifier that only had a volume knob. Well known for its chrome Pignose knob, right? So that amp was practically made to just overdrive itself. So it became very famous with many different artists. And what they would do is they would just put a mic in front of the Pignose so that it can run through its overdrive screech and play through their bigger amps, right? And now you have it on a ukulele.
Okay, now, this was an American brand. You told me, right?
Yes, it is
bought?
now owned by Aria, the guitar maker from Japan.
Mm-hmm.
This design itself is actually one of their solid body instruments with built-in speaker. They do have a 6-string version, which has a slightly bigger design, and they also have that flying V version.
Yeah, that's what I saw.
Yeah, this one comes in a sort of a mahogany look. It is kind of a solid body, but then if you think about it, the way they hollowed out and put the speaker in there, it's not totally solid.
Yeah.
But it does have that traditional looking Pignose amplifier, which is built inside with the speaker, just slightly smaller than what they have on the actual speaker, the famous speaker.
Now, a few things about this. This is concert in scale.
Concert in scale.
Now, because it's like electric guitar, and I think they're trying to keep it the look, the neck is bolted on.
Oh yes, one other easier way to make an instrument like this is to have a bolt-on neck. But of course, it adds to the flair. It really looks like a miniature version of their 6-string version.
Yeah. Now, I think the only time I've seen a bolt-on neck would be on the Epiphone.
No, a lot of different brands, especially coming from Japan, makes use of this bolt-on necks.
For
like
ukes?
Ibanez. For ukes, because the solid body or the semi-solid body instrument from Epiphone was made to look like a Les Paul.
You know,
and this kind of bolt-in system can also be found on certain Les Pauls and Gibson instruments.
There's this South African ukulele maker, I think Fanner Guitars.
Yeah, Fanner Guitars.
Yeah, they also have a bolt-on neck on their ukes.
Yes, and unlike a Fender neck, which again, based on the designs of the Japanese that are well known to create such weird shapes, they had to do this offset bolt-in system, unlike the Fender, 4-corner ones, because they do have a nice cutaway for the body and for your app, so you can access the riff.
Okay, now look at this. Okay, so it's a concert size.
Small little cute
one.
size.
They've hollowed it out here.
Mm-hmm.
They've tried to save weight by using open gear tuners.
Well, not much because it's
Yeah, it's still still a hefty ukulele.
Those open tuners make it look 70-ish, don't you think?
Yeah.
And a nice brown. In the 70s, the brown was the in thing. Like everybody was doing brown.
Now, because of the heft, I am very grateful that it has strap buttons.
Yeah. You are supposed to rock out with this because it is a Pignose. And if you want to, we can give you the sound sample, and our sound sample will just run it through the speakers, because run it through the usual amp, it's gonna be like a boring sound sample.
Yeah.
You usually have the piezo pickup on a solid body, but a Pignose has to run through mic'd.
If you don't run this through any speaker or amp, this is gonna be almost quiet.
Well, you're supposed to busk with it.
Yeah. See, this is what it sounds like without any speaker or amp.
Yeah, I don't hear anything. But you crank up the pig, and you want to hear it squeal. Yeah. Okay, now one thing that you will see. Okay, we will now give you the sound sample, running it through a mic using the volume of the speaker in itself. So Joe, why don't you carry on and rock out with this instrument?
Okay, here we go. Hey, we're back.
Yes, and that was kind of interesting. I mean, when you said crunch, it does crunch a little bit. How does it crunch? Well, on factory setting. Okay, first of all, anyone who's familiar with the Pignose brand, it was meant to crunch, right? A Pignose brand, when you dial in from 1 to 10, once you're on 1, that's the clean sound. Everything after, you've got a nice overdrive crunch, and that's what Pignose is all about through the electronics. What they did was to put that electronics inside here. So in the same way, when you want a clean sound, you have to put it on the middle part, right? As you demoed. But then in your later demo, you kind of hear a little bit on the crunchy side. And that's because of the kind of overdrive system that this one actually has.
Yeah. Now, Kokoy did adjust the crunch a little.
Yes, actually what they don't tell you with Pignose, because it can ruin your sound, is that the one of the reasons why you also have an open back with holes, aside from the fact that Pignose wants you to experience a little bit of the acoustics. One thing, a Pignose is a box that you can open up, and when you open up, it changes the sound a little bit, right? So in the same way, they did it here with an open back, so you have sort of a back sound coming out. And through that open back, you can access the chip. When you look into the chip, and this is something that they don't really, encourage you to do, there is a micro overdrive.
Yeah,
you can adjust the overdrive.
It's a Philip head.
Yes, this is overdrive is for the speaker. It's a chip that's connected to the speaker. So the overdrive will overdrive the speaker, because the speaker itself is designed in such a way that there's a crunch to it. Those are the kind of speaker designs they made for the original Pignose.
Okay, now listen, folks. If you're gonna adjust the little screw,
just make
here in
sure.
the back. Okay, you gotta poke your Philip head screwdriver through the appropriate hole.
Yep.
And you're gonna need someone to hold a flashlight so you can see what you're aiming for.
Yeah.
It's a small screw.
You can do it with your desk, like in our studio light, but yes, it's easier to actually just poke through. There's a little blue micro adjustment over there for the volume to crunch. That is not usually recommended, but it is one of the secrets for any Pignose owner or any owner of these Japanese made with built-in speakers. One of the reasons is that if you over crunch it, you just have to remember what was the right setting, which I just have to mark it through. When you over crunch it, there's some sort of system here that actually cuts the sound off, maybe to prevent any popping. But if you blend it right, you can get a little bit on a a little crunchy there for 60s crunch to that matter.
Now, okay, there is one thing I like about this aside from the crunchy sound it produces, and what's that? If you're not gonna use the amp, you're not gonna use the speaker, it's quiet. Okay,
How quiet? You can actually put it on a headphone. That's a headphone jack.
Now here's the thing. Sometimes I like to practice the ukulele at night, but my wife has work early the following morning. So at least, I can practice strumming.
Yes, because of the nice...
Just to get, and it's not gonna bother my wife. And if I wanted sound, I could put headphones in here.
Headphones, you can also jack it out. It's using a standard under saddle piezo. Again, what you have here is very well constructed. That is also why you have a nice resonance even when you use it as a silent ukulele. You've heard of these silent guitars. That's when you have guitars that practically are silent when you're not plugged in.
Yeah, now this has a very nice, clean look. Aside from the shape, all the frets are properly crowned. Yeah, you're gonna love the vintage look of those open gears and
Pignose vintage logo.
Yeah, and check out the no-tie bridge. If you're someone who has struggled, tying the strings around the bridge on a traditional ukulele bridge, you're gonna like the no-tie bridge here.
Yes,
check it out.
However, one thing about that bridge or the saddle is that it is kind of specific designed because of the unique shape of the no-tie bridge. Is that if you ever have to replace the saddle, it will be you have a little additional labor in trying to carve into the shape of the bridge itself. I mean, if you look at the bridge, it's kind of triangle-ish, pointy kind of wedge.
Yeah, but here's the thing. There's this local ukulele maker down in Cebu. And for some of their ukes, they do use a no-tie bridge. My pet peeve about their bridge is that when you're gonna knot the end of your string and it has to fit through the slots here, the depression they use for their bridges, for that ukulele maker in Cebu, the knots actually peek out a little. I always wish that the holes were a little bigger and deeper. This is a perfect no-tie bridge for me. The knots are hidden and, very clean look.
Yes, actually, that's a nice thing to point out with the design of this. And I believe that this kind of model only came out probably within the time frame that Aria bought Pignose, because before that, Pignose is really more known to be doing amplifiers, and ever since the Japanese owned them, they've started making these unique shapes. Now this shape is almost the same as the one with the 6-string, the 6-string electric guitar in full 6-string scale. That one comes in the crazy Japanese colors. You can have sakura flowers in them. But so far, I've only seen this ukulele with this traditional. Maybe because they're just trying to make it look like a Hawaiian ukulele on steroids.
For me, I would appreciate it if, let's say, they gave it a more electric guitar look, like, a bevel here and
body cut, yeah. A body cut over here would have been nice. Of course, this is a ukulele, so that normally it's actually small in itself.
It'll help save a little weight.
Yeah. Yes, and we wish that someday they will create it in more fancy colors, and maybe create something like a built-in overdrive, apart from trying to hack it with this one. One thing we failed to notice is that it is actually running on your 9-volt batteries. There you go, your 9-volt batteries. So it's easy to fix. It's the same kind of batteries you'd use on your guitar pedals. So this is a very, I wouldn't expect this to actually warp too much. So yeah, it's actually the only real thing that we need with this one is wish it had tenor version.
I'm just curious that if ever anything were to happen to the speaker, how difficult would it be to find
the replacement?
Yeah, the replacement.
I believe it's not that difficult. I've seen some replacements online because again, this built-in speaker on a guitar body is not kind of unique to Pignose. It is actually something that the Japanese just adopted pretty well. I only see it really in mostly Japanese instruments. Like there's another brand called Fernandez. I have not seen a ukulele from them, but they also make these mini guitars with built-in speakers, which I assume are similar in in electronics. They might actually share the same chip because as Pignose is, the Fernandez models that have built-in speakers also have that overdrive adjustment in the speakers.
Okay. So, Koke, where did you buy this?
Okay, this is a Japanese instrument, and currently it is mostly sold in Japan. I think it's kind of a marketing thing because not all Americans or anyone else in any region would kind of rock out on a ukulele with a big speaker, you know.
So-
I mean, like again, the crunchiness of this is kind of not enough to convince you. It's just really just a playful fun that you want to. I mean, you can busk with it, but it's not going to be a good busk.
Yeah. No, here's the thing regarding the crunchy sound. You can buy a Pignose battery-powered portable amplifier. It's about
Yes.
yay small.
And connect this to that.
Yeah. What? How many batteries does it use? 6.
Oh, that uses AA battery, so
Yes,
which is
but
pretty
six
convenient.
AA batteries.
Only because that was originally designed in the US during the 70s, so that's why it's like all in double A's. And also it is the original American design, which is now again produced by Aria.
Yeah.
So
You know-
Pignose USA does not exist in the US anymore, which is why when you want to buy this one, you still have to go through a Japan source. I mean, yes, that's kind of quirky, but then a lot of other brands that are good are coming out of Japan, which is also why it is a good market to shop. This one you can find in some stores in Tokyo or maybe Osaka, but again, best is really just look for it online in Japan and have it shipped to your hotel.
Yeah. We were supposed to have that little amplifier here. I think they have a bigger one.
We'll
They
review
call-
the
Yeah, but
hog.
I borrowed it from Coco. It's still at my place. They
Yes.
have a bigger one. They call the hog.
Yes. So today we wanted to just demonstrate this little guy
Yeah.
because once we hook it up to the other guys, it will just be like crunching it up to a normal amplifier, right? So this one is an amplifier in a ukulele, which is something that we wanted to show off to you. Which brings me to one of the things that we would have wanted with this, is that I have no idea if you can, but somehow they should have thought about an additional jack in here so that you can actually plug another instrument like a ukulele or a guitar and use this as a speaker. That would have been cool. Now, I have not seen if I can hack it that way, but I don't think it will be possible at this point because the only input I'm seeing right now is from the piezo line.
Yeah. For me, okay, without the headphone jack, I would have preferred that. Well, it's not gonna go with a vintage look, but I would have preferred that the jack be here in front, coming in at an angle. Simply because I sometimes like to play with the uke on my lap. Sometimes, and with a cable here, it just doesn't sit properly on my lap.
Yeah, actually, yes, that's a preference that you can actually do that so that you can put it over here. Some people, they might actually have the jack behind that can also prevent you from so one thing that is very much an aesthetic thing because if you think about it, if I just stand it up like this kind of looks like the speaker. So yeah, that's why one of the reasons that they just want to highlight the little pig nose over here. Don't lose the knob. It's kind of hard to replace this knob over here. It's kind of like a very collectible nowadays.
Yeah. We would definitely recommend this. It's a nice, fun uke.
Yes,
to add to your collection, or if you just want, to fool around with a self-amplified instrument.
Yep. I mean, if you compare this to the solid body Calas, except this one does not come in, any other size. This is a very good, not alternative. It's actually, in a way, for the price range of $200.
Yeah, let me try something.
Yeah, pull up the
There
thing.
you go. Yeah, so this is the difference it has with the Kala solid body. For a solid body Kala, let's yeah. When you do this, supposedly you will hear the sound of your tapping amplified.
Yes, you're talking about the specific model, the ukulele by Kala,
Yeah.
that has a body mic. Okay,
Yeah.
that is because a lot of these modern players, they usually want the tapping sound,
Yeah.
additional with the looper and all. This
Yeah.
is just one mean 70s machine.
Yeah.
Built sometime just a few years ago. Yeah. So again, Joe, there's a lot of things that we have liked, and with this one so much that we actually had so much suggestions for Pignose to add. Hopefully someday able to come up with more colors. I like the shape though, because again, if you were in a little small Pignose band, okay, the shape of the body can match the one with the 6th string, and there is a bass version on a short scale for electric guitars.
Okay, now folks, we need your likes. We need your subs. Keeps us going.
Yes, gives us another ticket to Japan. And maybe we can continue to give you more instruments from that region. But of course, there's so many other things that we can talk about, and we would like, again, your support, because that helps us with creating these videos for you. So,
Okay, now, okay, see you in the next video.
all right.